Hey, James Eagleman. We're going to talk about rangefinder, divergence, or dispersion. Most rangefinders, I got a SIG 10K Gen 1, Gunworks Revic, Swarovski, and a Vortex Razor 4000 GB. And what a lot of folks don't realize is some of them have 1.5 mil rad, 0.6 mil rad, 1.1 mil rad. So the beam is really small up front, and then as it gets out further, it spreads. So you could be 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 feet in diameter or more the further you get out for long range. But really what I want to talk about is what do I do to try to make sure that I get a good range on animals. So first of all, let me grab the Revic from Gunworks. Let me go in Eagle Ballistics and let me connect it. There it is. And what I want you to watch is I'm recording this live on the Eagle Ballistics app. First of all, be steady when you're ranging an animal. I know you're not carrying this out in the field, but for this test. So I have an animal out there at 728 yards. It's a ram. I'm going to range right over its back, and you can see it's 1,000 yards. Right under it, 697. And then I'm going to range right on it, and I got 727. That ram is 727 yards. So what I do is I do over, under, at, and I accept the at. I can almost speak English. Again, process of elimination. Make sure you're not picking up foreground. Make sure you're not picking up background. Make sure you're getting the animal. Now, out in Montana and Wyoming, where I used to live when I used to work at Gunworks, sometimes it's all sky above the antelope. So what I'll do is I'll start just above the antelope and I'll start ranging. I'll get nothing. And then all of a sudden I'll get a range. So I'm going to range. There's a tree line out there, and you can see the tree line is 1,007. I'm going to go above it, nothing, slowly come down, and finally I picked up 1,001 yards. So even though there's no background, you can't do the over, under, at, I would do the over, and then when I picked up the animal, then I would do it at its feet or in the tall grass. And then I would see if there's a difference between what I think is tall grass or animal, and then when I slowly started coming down until I picked up the animal. So if you have a background, over, under, at's the way to go. Take the at. If you have no background on the over, do the under first so you know what the grass is or where his feet are, and then slowly come up and then range the animal, so what you think the animal is, and then go over it, but then slowly come down until you pick up the animal. You got to do process of elimination. The other thing is hotspot. So let's take the circle and let's pretend this is the crosshair inside the rangefinder. I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of rangefinders that use a cross or use a circle. I don't really like either. The cross isn't too bad. I know of a rangefinder company that I can't talk about that has some really cool stuff coming out. And I believe the beam divergence on that one's going to be 0.5, which is pretty awesome. And it is a horizontal beam, kind of like the Gunworks is. But let's get back on target. So is your beam center, or is it towards the left of the circle, the right of the circle, top of the circle, bottom of the circle? You need to know that as a long-range hunter. And I'm going to kind of show you this in a second, but this one is really good. Gunworks does a good job of having the people that make them for them. They go ahead and make sure that it's as calibrated as possible. So here's how I do it, and this is how you can do it. Walk outside your front porch, find a street sign, start ranging over the street sign, find out when the beam picks up the parking sign or the speed sign. Come from the right and keep ranging till it picks it up. Come from the left till it picks it up. Come from the bottom. Now, if you got a pole there, flip the rangefinder upside down and then come that way. At least you know that your hotspot in your beam is at X. Again, top of the circle, bottom of the circle, whatever. So let me show you how this Revic is. I got a plate out there at 417 yards. It's a 10-inch plate. It's connected to EB, so you'll see it live. So I'm going to range right over the top, and it's 488. And then I'm going to range to the right, 434. Range to the left. When I say I'm barely, that circle is on the edge of the plate, I'm going to range underneath it, 400, and I'm going to range dead center. So the beam on this one is perfect because that target is 416 yards. Let's set that one aside. Let's go ahead and disconnect from the Revic. Go to devices. Let's wake up the Swarovski EL. I just talked to them yesterday, by the way. They're still trying to get it done so you guys can get this. So again, I am going to range just over the top, and you can see 485 just to the right, 431 just to the left, 432 just under, 393 and dead center on the plate is 415. So of course the Swarovski is excellent as well. Let's disconnect the Swarovski. Let's connect the Vortex Razor 4000 with geoballistics in it and do the same battle rhythm. Again, I am going to range just over the plate. 514 just to the right, 443 just to the left, 435, and just under it, 387 dead center is 417. So again, this one is perfect. Now, since Applied Ballistics decided that they are not going to allow other companies to use their Bluetooth, then I'm going to actually connect or film this through my phone, but I'm going to show you, I'm going to talk through it because it doesn't work with the Eagle Ballistics app anymore. All the SIG products that are using the license by Applied Ballistics no longer work with Eagle Ballistics. All right. I'm going to range over it, and I'm getting 469 just to the right, and I got 453 just to the left, and I got 417, which it should not be. I'm going to go farther left, 417. Well, that's quite a bit off. I'm going to range dead on 417. Now, what I'm going to show you is, again, in the camera, I'm about this far left of the plate, you know, which in reality is about 10 inches left of it, and it's still picking up. That tells me, so this is a cross, and I'll just draw, I'm trying to look for something to draw, but what I'm going to do is do a graphic at home. So this has the cross, and literally the target is over here. It's not even on the cross, and it's picking up the target. So this beam is perfect on elevation, but it's way right. So again, as long as I know that, that's fine. But what if you don't know that? So if you don't know that, then you're going to have an issue. So keep that in mind when you're dealing with rangefinders. They're not all created equal. They all have a certain beam divergence. Some have just a square beam, some have a circle beam, or like Gunworks has a left and right width and then a smaller up and down, and that's smart because animals are horizontal, not vertical. I don't know what the Swarovski is. So without me rambling on, again, let me grab the Revic. This is kind of my favorite right now is the Revic. I've got a Gen 2, but my partner's got it right now. So over the animal, range under the animal, range on the animal, do over, under, at, process of elimination, find out where your beam's at. Find out where your beam's at on a small target, 10 inch, 12 inch, 13 inch target, put it out at distance. If I know I'm shooting 1,000 yards, I want that plate, that truing plate at about 500 or 600 yards because the beam's already starting to grow. So remember, the further you get out, the bigger the beam's getting, and you're gonna have a harder time with dispersion. I can speak English, I really can. All right, hopefully this makes sense. Hopefully you guys learned something. I know a rangefinder company, I can't talk about them too much. They're coming out with a pretty cool rangefinder. It's got some interesting stuff coming out that's gonna really help this situation, trust me. All right, other than that, you guys have a great day and go kill some stuff.